What's up, everyone? Welcome to another CollectionDX review. This is Chachi Power, and we're going to be taking a look at Bandai's SH MonsterArts SpaceGodzilla, which is the third figure in the series. And you'll see him here nestled away in the box, which we're going to tear open any second now, but you'll notice it's a nice purple hue. And we did check this out at Toy Fair. They did have a mock-up of this box, and apparently it looks just like what they had planned it would look like. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the back. And the back has some nice photography of the figure, which shows off the excellent sculpt. And there's no trickery here, guys. The figure does indeed look even better than what the photos show on the back, which is apparently a prototype, but the figure just looks spectacular. And there's a bunch of Japanese writing that I can't read, and a little movie poster down here. I gotta say, this is a really nice sculpt. I mean, it's so detailed. Every little line and every little thing here is just absolutely perfect. Even the crystals are done really well. They're actually clear, even though they look white. Right here, right at the base, you can see that it's clear, and then they paint it white. Very well done. All the crystals on the back, on the spine, very nicely done also. We'll take a look at the face here up close, and you'll see the crystals on the head are also done in a translucent plastic, which is really nice. Now, in the original Godzilla, some of them had cross eyes, where the eyes are just a little bit off. This SpaceGodzilla, at least this one, is just right. It's just perfect. Aside from the excellent sculpt, one of the other things you notice as soon as you take him out is just the heft of this. I mean, this is, it seems like just solid plastic, which I'm assuming it is because of the weight. Now, we can obviously see that he looks good, but how articulated is he? I mean, after all, he is part of the SH line of figures, so we're going to go and check that out right now. Here, I'm going to start off with the head. The head articulates nicely. It's got a multi-segmented neck in 2 spots, but like Godzilla, if you go a little too far, the head does pop out. It's not broken, it just pops right back in, but at least you know, it gives, so that way there's nothing to be damaged. But very fair amount of articulation, I think. Very fair amount. And one of the cool things I like is if we take a look at the mouth here, the mouth actually opens, but not only does it open, but you'll see the little flesh piece back here that holds the top and the bottom jaw together. That stretches, you know, if this was a real monster. And the way they've done that, look at that, watch. See that? It kind of looks like it's stretching out. And the piece actually goes up into the head, which gives it that effect. So let's just check that out one more time. And the detail inside the mouth is really cool. It's got the teeth over here to the side and everything, and each tooth is individually painted. So I mean, the paint apps on this are just absolutely beautiful. Take a little closer look at those apps here. Check that out, the way they've done all the shading and everything. Obviously the seam lines are a little bit distracting, but I mean, the figure needs to be highly articulated, and that's something I want to continue with in a second. I know I got off track here, guys, but I just think this is just beautiful, and I just want to show you every bit that I can before I get back here. Anyway, so we're looking at the neck. Now let's go on and continue. Shoulders do not move. Everything here is one piece, right down to his man boobs here. And you do have the arms that are articulated underneath, but they are unfortunately limited by this shoulder piece here. It looks like they almost could go out if this wasn't here, but you know, then it just wouldn't look right. And the arms don't really go forward from up here. They do swivel. Okay, then you have the double jointed elbow, which is really nice, and then the wrist. And I think the arm, for you know, for the type of sculpt this is, does have a fair range of movement. Then you have the waist or upper chest here that moves around like that. You can actually turn it around quite a good amount. And then this type of motion. Then we'll move down to the hips here. Now the hips do have, again, fair amount of motion for something of this shape. You know, it's not exactly the most streamlined design, but I think Bandai has done a great job of getting this guy to be as articulated as possible. I mean, check that out. And you got the knee here, which is beautifully done. I mean, check that out. It's multi-segmented, so it does have a lot of spots for articulation. And lastly, we'll get down to the tail here, which is very nicely done. And each piece is separate to allow for articulation. Now, even though each piece is separate, doesn't mean each piece has a joint. For example, this right here spins. Some of them spin. I think it's every other one. It's over the inner tail, but some of them where they are jointed do not spin at all. And the articulation of the tail is just wonderfully done. I mean, check that out, guys. You know, you may have to line these up once in a while just to get it to look right, but I mean, excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, SpaceGodzilla does come with this base here, which has crystals coming up off the ground and a little peg hole here. So I'm going to show you guys what that is. So you put SpaceGodzilla right here, just right about there. Put the base here, open his mouth, and he does have an effects part, which is this corona beam here, which you can simply attach to the base using the included arm here, which is clear, still very obviously there, but clear. And this beam effect, which at first when you first grab this out of the box, you're going crazy looking for the hole. So it's right towards the end here. It's right there. When you find it, plug that in and just pop it in his mouth. I have to do a little bit of adjusting here, and I understand. But there he is with the corona beam, which I guess looks okay. Just looks like a bunch of vomit coming out, but you know, for you guys that love effects parts and little bases and stuff, it's there for you. I do a little scaling here with other figures. I have another SpaceGodzilla. This is one of the cheaper Bandai vinyls. You'll see they scale up pretty nicely, but obviously the sculpting on this is worlds above this one. This one kind of looks like a baby toy, which I guess next to this it most likely pretty much is, but at least this gives you a sense of scale. Now I also want to go ahead and compare him to the first SH MonsterArts release, which is the Godzilla here, and you'll see much bigger, much heftier. It's just I mean, the sculpting on this is, I don't know what to say about this. It's just so much better than the original release. I think after this first Godzilla release they learned a couple things which they used towards SpaceGodzilla, but I mean, both figures are just absolutely wonderful. And yeah, so that's SpaceGodzilla, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and make sure to check out CollectionDX for the full review. Till next time, guys, bye bye.